A dead body.
But I can't wait to see how this turns
Ah,
out.
yeah! Ah!
Are you ready for the most chaotic audio gout you've ever heard?
Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to my Chanel. And today I have the most illustrious 1928 women's wear model extravaganza. Release we do.
My name's Clarissa.
Oh, where's your bathing suit, Clarissa?
I don't wear bathing suits because I'm not a slut!
That's a conversation for a different video. Today we're going to be taking it all the way back to
1842.
It honestly feels a little
Yeah.
bit like that with the amount of pixels that we're going to
Yeah.
see today. So, today we're going to be watching the illustrious British TV show that is Changing Rooms. Now, this was huge in the 90s. Any British person who was like a child or an adult in the 90s, so basically anyone who was around and conscious in the 90s, will know Changing Rooms. It was like a staple British television.
Did it go into like the early 2000s?
I think it did.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to bring it back recently as well.
Did
And
they?
everyone was a bit
God.
like, what are you doing?
This is dated, girls.
Dated. I kind of forget exactly the format of the show, but it's kind of like, I think like Neighbours or Friends or something, like decide to
I don't think
like,
they.
change a
I'm
room.
pretty sure it's strangers. I
Is
don't
it
think- Yeah, I
strangers?
don't think they know each other.
Oh, even
Because
better.
if they were friends, I think it kind of takes away the kind of like surprise of it because they would
That's
know.
true. That's very true. You've been nominated or you're nominated with
Yep.
like another couple either nearby or something, and then you end up like redecorating a room in their house for the very like style of the time.
Yes.
And the people involved in this show are very like, they're very Trini and Susanna. They're very
Yeah,
like,
it's-
don't wear colour. Everything has to be various shades of green.
Trini and Susanna of
The interior design
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
So, my lovelies, I think the episode that we're going to be watching today is from the mid to late 90s. I don't
Yeah.
exactly know when it is. It feels like, looking at the titles here, it feels, I don't feel like I'd be wrong in saying 97.
Yes.
I feel like that's kind of right. Are we ready to pop in the hanger? Which one do you need for your whole?
Well, I'll try the right one.
Pop in the hanger. Get your beverages at the ready. I'm on the water today.
I'm not going to show you why I'm on.
on
'Cause
cat.
You'll know because you'll get flagged.
Will I? Why? What is it?
It was just meant to be a joke.
Oh. I was like, hang on, is it GHB?
Hello
Ooh,
and
changing
welcome
rooms.
to Changing Rooms. This week from the pretty
Carol's
Kent
mine.
House,
Oh, we've got the same
Benetton.
outfit.
Now, Benetton is
Winning.
famous for many things, not least of which the rather posh girls' school. Apparently, the inventor of MDF lives here, and he's called Dick Van Dyke, although I take that with a pinch of salt. And
A slur and a drug. Treat yourself.
that church. Still standing, never been struck by lightning, and as far as I'm aware, is rather tastefully decorated inside.
It's dead now.
Anyway,
It's dead.
those neighbours
Gone,
this week
Gone
are
but not a gondola.
Retired teacher Glyn and her
Oh, she's dead
22-year-old
now.
daughter Caroline Bowen, who live round the corner from their good friends Joe and
Oh, so
Steve
they are
Thompson
friends.
Oh, they are
and their
friends.
5 children.
5 children.
Now,
That's
it just so
one
happens
child
that Joe
too
and
many.
Steve live
Yeah.
right opposite the
Here we have another prime example of audio gout. I have no idea what we were trying to say.
5 children
Karen's
too
pregnant
many.
as well.
Oh, it's a baby machine.
Glyn and Caroline's Lounge Diner.
That is disgusting. What is that? Fanny pink. That's absolutely disgusting. What is that disgusting colour of a sofa?
It looks like a cover as well.
It does, yeah.
Oh, the 90s was a mistake.
Yeah, it looks like there's tights wrapped around the bottom. Pull those tights down.
Oh.
lacks character and doesn't reflect their colourful personalities.
I want to change this room because it's a nothing room. There's no,
No, it's repugnant.
It's
plain
so
walls.
intense.
There's no focus to it. It's just very dull.
I think for a modern house, it's a really good shaped room, and it's a good size room, and the way it is at the moment just doesn't make anything of it at all. It just looks
No.
really.
Okay, let's have a little look-see. So we've got church candles, but they're blue, with
Ooh.
a stripy blue rug, pink sofas.
Bright red.
Look at the size of that TV as well.
Oh.
That takes us all the way back. It's on a chest by the looks of it.
Yeah, nice chest. Pink curtains.
Yeah, ready pink curtains. We've got patio
Um,
doors.
yeah, this is
French
yeah.
doors.
And this weird green. There's too many different colours going on. It's
This
like
is
a
the-
mist.
we didn't have any direction, so we bought everything.
Dismal.
I've collect puppies.
Why is it so
and I
delayed?
love them. And if
Mercedes
anybody
girls.
touched them, I'd be distraught.
One thing I really hate about this room are those heaters. They're disgusting.
Oh,
I think the very worst thing.
they're very.
So I live with my grandparents. I grew up with my grandparents, and they lived in like an old bungalow, and all the heaters, those horrible storage heaters, where like it would take
14 days.
It
to
would
heat
take
up.
so long to heat up, and you had to get like a pen and like jab it in the top to like twist it on. You couldn't even. There was no like switch. So it was like you had to put like inside it to like pull it along to do the heat.
Who would? What?
It was
But think
so
about it,
weird.
who was designing these things back in the day and thinking,
Yeah.
we don't need any knobs or dials or buttons. No, what you need is a
The thing
pen.
as well is they would always smell. They would smell funny, and they were actually loud because you hear like the metal like clanking inside going as
It's
it
made of
heating up.
asbestos.
Yeah, awful,
Made of
awful,
asbestos.
awful.
Time to wait an hour for it to continue.
Wonder why it does that.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
Would be if I walked into stark white walls.
That wouldn't be very nice.
No.
Joe and
with white
Steve
walls?
think their family room is dark, dull, and dingy.
It's just like an indoor
That is
shed. It's a dumping ground for all the kids' toys and
That
stuff.
is a
and-
dark
And all of your
room.
books.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, wow.
This is very
Homosexual.
like. What is this wall over here? Look at it. Like just half painted.
It's like they
scraped.
started, but they were like, oh, we can't do it, girl.
Yeah, too much.
The thing is, I think when you've got 5 children, I imagine that most of the time you don't really think about anything else except your children.
Boom. A child. No.
This is quite an unfortunate. Look how dark this room is. Although there's a beam. If there was something I remember about these shows, especially like Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen, who was like part pony, I'm sure of it, with his little mane and tail.
Part pony?
Sure, he was part pony, but he was definitely into pony play.
Oh, trot along, bitch.
The thing is, he was always like, you need a focus, you need a focal point.
Bring the outside in.
Yeah.
A beam, girls.
A beam.
So he would absolutely love it. I don't know if he's going to be in this episode though, but I just always
That
remember him.
TV is in a weird position.
How
How are you looking at?
How are you watching the
How are you
TV?
watching it?
The wall is watching it, but they've also got a bright blue piano.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
and
very
some
90s.
odd hodgepodge of chairs, mismatch.
No, it's not looking good for you. Hello.
I've got
room that's been
gas.
left until
Well, we're
last.
kind of hoping that if we did nothing to it long enough, that wood chip would come back into fashion and we wouldn't have to do anything.
true,
but
yeah.
that hasn't seemed to happen. So
That literally
That
never
would
happens
never
to anything.
happen.
bother Steve at all. He just said, "Oh, I don't see what's wrong with it." But
of
I
course
think
he's
it's
a man.
horrible. It's just horrible. I would love a modern warehouse.
Men would literally live in an empty room with a
different life
bed.
when I had
Yeah,
no
they
children.
would.
Yeah.
Live in a
Oh,
lovely
my fashion.
Yeah.
rooftop warehouse with all that open space and white paint
warehouse
and
style.
clean lines.
Okay.
What's up with that
If
wall?
we hate it, we'll make Caroline come and paint it white. That will sort it out for me. And we'll never let her hear the end of it. That'd be good.
Who's
And that way we get lots of
Caroline?
free
I think that's the other
babysitting
woman.
out
Is that
for
the other
good. In fact,
woman?
I hope we
Okay.
do hate it.
The other
The woman in the woman in the Arga.
Hello.
So
Oh.
are you all feeling fit and fighting and ready to go?
Oh, it's like bargain
man.
hunt.
Yeah.
Got a bit more energy than that.
Horrible trousers that she's
Blues,
wearing.
you got a Graham win.
Check like.
What? What? She got a jumper like tied around her waist. You're on TV, just take it off.
But that, I mean, again, I feel like in the 90s, having jumpers around the waist was actually kind of like a statement.
A statement. Beautiful.
It was, I swear, because everyone used to have jumpers around the waist. It was like a big thing. I'm
What,
pretty
like
sure.
TV presenters?
No, I don't know about TV presenters themselves.
Well,
but I mean,
there
like
you go.
wearing like a jumper around your waist wasn't seen as like a bit weird.
I don't think it's weird, but I just think it's weird that like someone on TV who's presenting a show is like, it might be cold outside, might put my jumper on.
You've got Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen. Never mind, you're a Bowen. You've probably got something in common. Right, time to swap keys.
Swap
Oh!
what's gonna happen?
The way to go. Keys in the bowl.
We love a time lapse. Instantly, looks so much better.
Yeah, with all the-
Instantly, nothing in
Just
it.
see an empty room.
You
better.
said you wanted to drag this room into the millennium.
Absolutely.
Who's
It's
this
gotta be
camp
kicking
man?
and
Millennium.
screaming all the way. Nothing old or antiquated, and it's got to be modern.
So it's away with the
Yeah.
Tudors.
It is.
It's away with the Victoriana.
Goodbye, Rover's return.
Victoriana.
Millennium Dome.
Okay, right. fine.
Millennium
Very
Dome.
interesting.
So maybe this is like
Maybe
after the
this-
2000s.
Clean cut.
Yes.
So I thought the majority of the walls we could just do as a base in just dead boring.
Right.
Oh,
okay, that's
just
a good
what they-
choice.
yeah, but just what they said no
yeah,
to.
definitely. We're like, we don't want.
We don't want to work on that.
This wall, I have a cunning plan for.
How cunning.
That was
It's
statement
pretty
wall.
cunning, if it
gonna be
works.
grass,
It's a one-off.
astroturf.
A
Not
AstroTurf
with white
wall.
paint, but I think we need an accent colour.
It's going to say
God.
red. It's going to be
Designer
red or
way of
blue.
just saying another
Orange.
colour, yeah. Okay.
Is it
so
gonna be
I
orange?
figured we could do it in this kind of aqua
Excellent.
blue.
That's more like it. Like that colour.
And the reason I picked that colour is because I want to do something slightly
Mint.
kind of aquatic
Won't it look like a
on that
bathroom,
wall.
I want to do something aquatic on that wall. Is the living room?
Welcome to the aquarium.
Welcome to Sea Life's Tentacles.
The ominous glow of the beluga whale.
Imagine for a second I just came into your living room and I was like,
The whale sounds. Did it put you to sleep?
yeah.
Oh, now I can.
Oh, no. That's never going anywhere near the internet. Oh, Barbara, she The secret we will take to the grave.
I should do live stuff.
No!
Bathroom sort of colour.
It won't look like a bathroom. I
Oh,
promise
she's
you.
on the ball though.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
Here we go. Oh, someone died. Instant death.
Good heavens.
First met. You
Oh,
said that this room had to feel safe.
Look,
Lawrence
isn't-
Llewellyn Gout.
Isn't he part pony?
Yeah,
he's
nay.
into pony play. She's got a degree with his little cuffs, his little like hoof cuffs, and
Oh
his
my
like
God.
mane and tail, girls. You're still struggling, aren't you?
I know, yeah. Guys, I'm sorry if my mascara's down my face. You just have to deal with it. I've been laughing and I've been crying.
It's been a tough day.
Yeah, do miss home.
You didn't actually say why.
Right.
Why? Well,
Why?
the family went to Australia about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And they really loved it.
So much so they wanted to move out.
So they want to paint kangaroos everywhere.
Yeah, ooh.
Thing about it, and we thought it would be a good way of bringing in
The
interest
outside.
for the children and something that the adults
Bring
would
the
like
outback
too.
inside.
And the colours that we thought would be good in this room.
Right, such as?
Chartreuse.
Ochres, yellows.
Ochre! Everything ochre!
Lev, it's got to be really tough and durable. Crispin, the 3-year-old, just demolishes
Durable
anything.
ochre. Oh, yeah, my lovely home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you make us
Just a playground.
Oh, very nice.
Cunning.
Yeah.
Cunning.
My wall is very cunning. Cunnilingus.
It just reminds me of The Little Mermaid or My Little Pony. Or
Yeah, but it's still
Changing
white, I
room.
don't like. 4 years at design school, and it's white.
It suits me, I like it. Right.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like a fridge at the moment.
I don't get why you'd gone to a TV
She's
show.
so upset.
Yeah, she is.
She's
Bit
really
hot.
annoyed.
Die!
The coffee table here, which has got to have storage inside it.
Right.
So you've got a top that lifts up, and then they can throw toys.
So
and
what's the
video-
top made out of?
Well,
And the
can we,
children.
I thought maybe we could
Yeah.
stick together floorboards or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So there's that. Then you know the ornate bookcase that they had in there with the top to it. Just two very simple flat MDF doors on there.
Right, okay.
And then these, the shutters, to go actually out the window.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Thing is, right, I'll be...
Floorboard, coffee table, storage box for children.
I was really confused then what he was talking about.
See, this is the thing with this kind of show, is it's very, like, of its time. Like, nowadays, you'd just be like, we're having a child's toy box and a coffee table. But they're like,
No, we're going to take the floorboards and make them into a coffin for children.
And it's
Cutting
a
down
horror.
the shutter, yeah?
Is that Handy
Over
Andy?
there,
It
as you
is.
can see, is an old kind of...
I think
what
the
is
top
it,
does actually
screeny
say
thing,
Andy,
isn't
but
it?
you just, like,
It's because we've got
Screen.
no
Now,
pixel.
I mean, I don't know, this is just saying that this is banging. It's a bit...
That wall is terrifying.
It is, isn't it?
It looks like mould.
It really is bringing the outside in.
I mean, what do you
I
think?
actually really love you.
Nay, bitch.
That's
Well, I don't
fantastic.
know, I mean...
Pony play.
To rot on the mic.
It's fantastic. We'll use that because we can
Clocked by
cut that in the
Susan.
middle, something, just hang it at the window. Fantastic.
I'm concerned, Graham. We've
Cut that into something and hang it at the window.
Just why not?
Why not? Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Let's make
taking
these
the
pipes.
outside
Let's
out.
stick all these pipes to the wall.
Yeah,
too.
make them into a hat.
Yes.
I'm not going to...
A lampshade.
I saw this brilliant idea, right, in a
I
restaurant.
don't like that wall.
And they
at
just
all.
had a wall.
It looks like a
water.
bathroom colour. It
It's
really
horrible.
does.
It was just a leak in the restaurant, wasn't it?
was
The irony is now, if I see a blue bathroom, I'm like, ugh. If I see like a nice warm beige golden bathroom, I'm like,
Ah,
luxury
ochre.
girls, ochre. Yeah,
Ochre
beige,
tile.
beige.
Cheap restaurant.
I don't care for mummy. She can die.
But I thought it would be really great if we could attempt being the operative word,
What is
to
that?
have a sheet of acrylic with water running right down the back of it.
Right.
So hence my...
It's just too
Where's this
much.
water going to go then?
It pumped back, pumped round. Right, I'm sorry,
The
but
thing
I'm
is, they
not-
wouldn't
I'm
turn it
not-
on. Like that's one of the things that, like, you go, oh, it feels fun and cute, but you would just leave it off all the time.
Why would you ever want an aquatic themed living room
It's
with
weird,
a
isn't it?
piece of acrylic that's got actual water? You're just asking for like a damp problem.
Yeah, you're asking for an accident. The thing is, if you want to have a water feature, buy a separate thing that's not attached to the wall.
Put it
it's
in
not
the
part of
garden.
wall, and you or put it in the garden. But like, I think those kind of things, if you want something like that, just keep it as a separate thing on its own. Don't attach it to a wall where like that is inviting
problems.
Especially because these people and this show, isn't this like a multi-millionaire like competition show? Like they don't have much money, so you know that it's not going to be like this.
It's not going to be done well.
Yeah,
It's going to be done cheap and
if
quick.
you've got like millions of pounds, whatever, yeah, sure, do that because you can probably have it installed properly, and there won't be a problem.
Yeah.
This is a cheap show, so like the idea that they're doing this is just going like it's going to break after a few months, and you're just going to get like a spillage everywhere.
Absolutely. And the thing is also is that there's no they don't spend a long time on this show. I think is it one day? They switch for one day.
It's like a day. It's like a day. Yeah.
Literally all the paint on the wall is still going to be wet. Everything they make is going to be like still setting. It's going to be disgusting, but I can't wait to see how this turns out. Oh, look at Lawrence like, I know.
No, it can't be anything but oak.
No. Any prisoners on this one? This.
Oh,
this
is the colour for
He
our
did,
bag.
didn't he?
Oh, great.
Fantastic.
What?
Look at this.
The whole point was the room was dark. The room was dark.
Now, do you think it's hideous?
Yes.
Revolting, I'm sorry.
It's just
You
like
said the
well,
room was too dark. Now you're putting a dark colour on the wall.
It's Aboriginal mud. See it in those terms.
What's going on top of it?
Well,
It's
this is
mud.
it.
You might
Do you
win
think?
me over.
Do you
with
think I'm
whatever
going to
goes
leave
on
it
top
like
of
But just
that?
leaping out of the tin like that is
Yeah.
pretty vile.
No, what we're going to do, a whole series. I've got a whole series of stencils of things like turtles and zigzags and things like that.
Stencils is very 90s. That is very 90s.
This is the thing. If someone said to me, what we're going to do is paint this bar across the room really dark and put some stencils of turtles on it, yeah, I'd be like, should we call the asylum? Because somebody is escaping.
That is weird. But the stencils was massive then. It's the same era as like Spirograph and all those
it's
kind of
very
like...
Spirograph,
It's
isn't it?
very that kind of era of design where...
Just like lines.
And again, it's like those Crayola pens that you get, the stamp pens. Remember this pens that have shapes and stuff and you stamp them all on?
Them.
But like, this is very of the time.
It is very
of the time.
very.
I've got gout!
Oh. I didn't quite hear that.
You won't see a lot of that, but we do need something dark to link this together, and I thought the black was going to be just too scary.
Whereas...
I can't believe you just opens the tin and it's just straight on the wall.
Yeah. But what colour are they painting
To
the
me.
rest of the wall? They're keeping it yellow.
There you go, and now you know. I mean, one of the things that I noticed about Aboriginal art was that they obviously
What
used to
just
just
happened?
get their hand on a rock like that.
What happened then? So we're watching a particularly old episode, should we say, and somehow the recording just skipped ahead by itself. I don't know what happened then. But the fact that he's just said, we're putting Aboriginal art in this woman in, where was it, like Salisbury or something, literally putting it in her lounge, being like, well, the thing about Aboriginal art is it belongs to the Aboriginal people. Not here, Lawrence Llewellyn.
Again, though, this is the era of like men going, I'm going to get a tribal tattoo on my arm, having no idea what the fuck any of this shit means. It's just like, looks good, yeah.
Can you imagine these people are going to come back to this house and be like, yeah, we really asked for all this.
Yeah. It's just because they said they've been to Australia and liked Australia.
This show had a real habit of like, someone said like, oh, I really like sheep. And so they're like,
We've turned your entire house into a sheep.
Disgusting.
like, it was very that.
Wool on the walls.
Yeah, woolly floor paper, woolly walls. I don't know why it skipped ahead then, though. I'm
That
very
was very
upset about
strange.
that, whoever made this. Hoomst.
And get a mouthful of possibly chalk or something and water, and then just spray it, almost like an autograph of the hand. And some of these are thousands of years old. So I'm just doing that with
So we're gonna make it-
So we're going to
using some watered down
sacrilege
emulsion.
that and
it
put
just
it in
means
your
that it's nice
living
because we've
room.
now got
That is
Rory's hand, Crispin's
not
hand, Tom,
acceptable.
Jasper and Imogen. Just sort of sprinkled in with the frieze to personalise it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So
They
what do
don't
I owe
seem
this
convinced.
person?
No, they're like,
I
yeah,
heard you
all
were
right.
really late last night putting Graham's floor together, and I feel a bit sorry for you, so I thought I'd help you.
No, only a bit.
Because I wasn't here as late as you were. Why is that shutting? Oh, it is.
Are they like flirting with each
Maybe,
other?
yeah.
shot me left.
She's
Does
already
it look
pregnant,
good?
you slut.
Graham's room was lovely, yeah. Looks really nice.
What do you think
really
about it,
nice.
Lawrence?
Yeah, it's...
Have you been to Australia?
Me, no.
Because he's
What's
never been either.
happening?
You can tell.
None
by
of them
looking
have
at
been
that.
at all.
I'm sure the Australian
He's
people
get-
can look at that and go, it looks nothing like an Australian house.
What is he
He's looking,
saying?
he's getting out of a National Geographic
So you've been to
magazine.
Australia. What do you think?
You've been to Australia.
It's nothing
It's got
like
like a
Australia.
proper like
London,
Yeah,
proper
like-
like
Cockney
Cockney.
accent. It's really sometimes hard to understand.
He's going to have the hump with me anyhow.
Why?
I'm sure because I was...
He's going out the fire, down the pub.
I don't know, he might not be. I'm surprised to come out and be really happy.
She's got a degree.
She's got a degree.
Don't bet your life in it.
I know. Well,
Don't
have a
bet your
good
life on it.
Like in the show, you're supposed to be at least going, "We love what our people are doing." Don't. Why would you like interview someone else in the show and be like, I don't like what he's doing?
Yeah, I think it's going to be rubbish. That. Why wouldn't you be like, oh my god, we're out here, we're making this wardrobe door for this family that's been to Australia. Like, it just goes to show you the difference in television that we expect now.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like everything now has to be hype. But back then they were just like, so what do you think about that?
Kind of shit, girl.
Yeah, it's kind of shit in it. Yeah. Don't like all of that. Oh, in the bin. Oh, what a hateful ochre mosaic.
What is happening? Most Buckley's.
Is that not sandpaper?
Sandpaper?
Over the road, it's more art. This time, Australian style.
So anyhow.
Well, it's nice of you to turn up. Where have you been?
Just like, over the road. Ignore. Bye, girl.
I've got nothing. All my cupboards are complete disarray.
Oh, she's having a stroke.
Please,
look.
Oh,
the misandry.
Darling.
12 o'clock.
Did you know,
And it's
the ironic thing is that Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen is not actually gay. He's married and got a family. But didn't that feel like homophobia?
It did. No, it did.
She was like,
yeah. I actually didn't know that he had a family.
Yeah, he has a family. But it's just like that level of homophobia, that kind of like taking the piss out of someone for being a little bit flamboyant or eccentric, was so normalised in the 90s. So normalised.
Yeah.
The amount of TV shows that we've seen where like someone's come away and said something and we're like, you should not have said, like, how can you think that that's acceptable to say about someone? Oh, it's Cthulhu!
Oh!
Or swim time for Graham.
Swim time.
Nice noise.
If this worked, I'd be so rich. Look,
How noisy is that?
Can you imagine having that
in your... What is it?
We can't even see it because of the
no
pixels.
It is. There's a hole in my bucket, the Eliza. It's up here.
Turn it off.
So it's just
It's
spilling into the...
already
It's already
leaking.
broken.
At least it's doing what it should.
It's a minor adjustment.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
animals am I doing on the floor?
I think
that was the worst idea I've ever seen.
That was so...
It was so big and bulky, away from the wall. Just like they're gonna come in and be like, rip it out.
Take it away. Yeah, that was so weird. Also, like, she's stenciling on the floor, so they're not putting any... They're just going to leave the floor like that. What?
Oh, the 90s was a mistake.
Everything is cheap. Everything is the cheapest they could possibly do.
Why is this entire room being completely converted into like a museum of what people think going to Australia is?
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you, I've been to France. I've been to Germany. I'm not going to be like, oh, please put giant croissants everywhere. Make my whole room into a croissant.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous.
Stupid.
one more big one over there.
I think
we know
this
it's
it.
looking like the floor of Animal Hospital.
Okie dokie. Well, I'll keep going.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
To this bookcase.
Well, actually, now we finally got him. Mr. Kane's done some work, and he's done it quite well. Put the doors on the existing bookcase.
Done
with
it
all the
quite
storage.
well.
Who's Kane?
Can you not be nice about him?
Not on the
Is that her
sheet.
husband?
Okay.
He's
These are
mucking
straight people,
around
their
something
jokes about
rotten.
hating their partners.
But this is going to be Ayers Rock.
I've reserved my judgment on this for the time
Good.
being, I
Well,
think.
He did not paint that.
No. And also, she can see right through him.
She's like, I don't like it.
No.
Assistant and help him with the trunk. This will be completely transformed, and it will be like walking through a view into Ayers Rock.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. What is that? What is that all about?
Oh my god! What is that?
Disgusting.
Now, Caroline's very keen to have a bit of a play with your power tools, which is great.
I'm sure
Whatever
she's
you do,
said
I'm
that.
sure she
focus
is,
on the
yeah.
fact that we've only got about 3 or 4 hours left. This needs to be finished. The doors need to be hung. Got so much going on wrong in there. I really need some support today.
Look at her. Oh dear.
She's upset, is she? Well,
Oh, look at her.
He is upset.
She's upset, isn't she?
To belittle someone is to make them out to be a woman.
And also misgender them.
Yeah.
But the reality of this situation is that was so normal.
Yeah.
So normal to be like, oh my goodness, there's a problem. Oh, look at her. If that was some big butch lad on the site manager, they wouldn't be like, oh, look at her.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, we have to do it or we're going to get beaten to death.
I'm going to cream.
I forgot how fucking
It's weird,
horrible
isn't it?
the
Almost,
90s
that
is.
just is-
It's so brazen.
Yeah.
Like, no one said anything about. They're not like, oh, okay. But
the thing is, even LGBT people, it's like we were used to it. So like we don't, at the time, it wasn't even
you didn't even think about it.
No,
It was just like, that's the
it
conversation.
was almost
that
like
happened.
we agreed with it in a weird way. Like the fact that we watched, obviously we're gonna do the fun together. Like I've been watching Playing It Straight. When Playing It Straight came out, gay people kind of
language
just
is
accepted
normal.
it as well.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like, yeah, of course that show exists.
Of course that's normal. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
like-
yeah. You pretend to be straight because we're all trying to do that anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Have you thought about your house?
I slept with a clear conscience because
What are
this
they
is
doing to
wonderful.
this
I
couch?
love
I
it.
don't know.
I absolutely love it. I'm not going home. I'm staying here.
But yours?
Well, that's why I'm not going
She's
home
gonna
because
have
it's
a lovely
Lawrence.
time when she goes.
I'm gonna
I'm
do house
staying
swapping.
here.
Wife swap, house swap.
I don't know yet.
Be
I'll
honest.
reserve judgment.
Oh, no, I mean as a designer, watching him on the show, you know.
No. No, absolutely
Did you
not.
not just die when you discovered it was...
Yeah,
hidden
that
in
is
your
so
hair?
not fair, but I'm not going home. It's okay, because I'm just going to live here, because this is brilliant. But no, Laura...
What is she saying?
So she's slagging off Lawrence Llewellyn,
Yeah, I thought that
saying
was
like,
what
I
that-
don't like what he does. Why have you agreed to come on the show then, you idiot?
Yeah, that was so weird, wasn't it? She was very much like slagging off his work and being like, I don't know what. I mean, I don't like what he does, but this show is
so
weird.
weird how it's just like, okay, and letting the people like slag off the workers and everything. Like, what a weird.
But not only that, the presenters are like slagging each other off. Like, everyone's slagging each other
What's
off.
happening?
I feel like we're like privy to an argument or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Surely this had to have been like an actual problem, because I'm not getting like produced TV vibes. I'm
No,
actually getting like they
actual
don't like each
resentfulness,
other. Like
yeah.
resentment.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 8 minutes left. I wonder what monstrosity is going to emerge.
Lawrence, no. I have to say it's going to be frilly pink, isn't it? I know it is.
He's not your favourite designer.
No.
What would be the worst possible scenario other than frilly pink?
Crafty. Lots of craft things. Horrible, brown, crafty. Yeah, that would be horrible too.
Brown crafty
Or
things?
cottagey. Something cottagey would be horrible.
Oh my god.
All she's got is a room full of brown craft.
Yeah.
If it's
And
it's
she's
not
gonna go
themed, it better
cottaging.
not be themed, because... Oh no. I'm nervous now. I'm
Themed.
definitely
Better
nervous.
not be themed.
Better not be themed, and she's got the Australia house.
Something about, oh, it was not themed.
No.
And I thought, that was a strange thought.
No,
Why-
no, he wouldn't do themed, because Caroline knows I hate theming as well, so she wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I
You
trust
don't
her.
know your friends.
You don't know.
Nobody knows each other in the 90s.
No. Who are you?
Andy and Caroline are having a bit of a domestic.
You told me to cut the MDF flush to the tongue and groove.
What have I been doing?
Well, your tongue and groove was like that. How do you cut?
The tongue and groove is too big at the front because you can run a planer over it to finish it off, right?
Well, why can't you run a planer over that?
Because
to
it'll be
finish it
too
off?
short now.
No, it won't.
Look. Put that
Then
flush
why
on the
get someone
front
who's
here,
not
like that.
not a carpenter to do it?
Yeah, it's like.
How dare you mess like you don't know what you're doing?
Look at this.
It's the state of that.
Carrie, just imagine, like we want someone to edit our videos for us. We hire someone who literally has never used Premiere Pro.
Yeah, doesn't understand anything.
I mean, like,
How dare you not be
do it like-
instantly a millionaire?
but you can't having a go at this woman because she didn't do the DIY stuff right. Who doesn't do DIY? Who's not a DIY woman? And you're like, how dare you do it wrong? That's not how you do
This
it.
feels like misogyny.
Yeah.
This feels like he's like,
Oh, you're just some silly bitch.
you can't
The
make
thing
a
is,
cupboard.
I get it. As, the fact that he's been slagging off Lawrence Llewellyn and making him out like, be like a woman. And
Yeah,
being like, oh,
it's
her.
misogyny.
Yeah, it's very misogynistic.
It's very misogynistic.
Yeah.
It's like, would he be doing that to a butch bloke? Would they be like, oh, you haven't done it right?
No, but he'd
Kev.
be like, you silly bitch.
You silly bitch.
Yeah.
Let's make another one.
Yeah.
Oh.
All men want men.
Yeah.
Your
Come on, man.
fault. Your tongue and groove was faulty before I even got there with me MDF.
Stop saying tongue and groove.
Come on.
Stop it. Is this a cockpit?
For the children.
Oh, yeah.
Die!
Ordinary stiffening, you know, department store stuff. Needs
Don't-
to
yeah,
finish off
stop talking about
stapling it.
stiffening.
If it's not drum tight, use a plant sprayer.
What is
Put
that?
some water on it, and it should tighten it up. Okay.
It looks like
Stay
one of those,
on
like,
balance
it looks like
for
one of those
5
net
minutes.
things you've got the windows in like
If this,
countries like
wait,
hot countries.
where's he run off to? Are they going to put it on the windows?
Look, you're still here. This is ridiculous. I've got the shutters to go. This is just going absolutely
Calm down, Lord.
crazy.
You make yourself ill. Calm down. Do you want me to get you a bottle of water or something?
God,
Calm down.
better than that.
Just...
Oh, I see. I see. It is produced nonsense, but it's also not funny.
But it's also
It's very BBC humour, isn't it? Like, dress up as the lady and get destroyed.
but then still, like, even though this is like that, I guess it was staged then, it still promotes misogyny.
It's promoting misogyny and homophobia.
Yeah, it's still promoting
It's
it.
promoting the idea that someone feminine telling you what you're doing is wasting company
And
time
they need to
or
be
something.
pushed into a
you
certain
can
school down.
instantly be you can punish them for that.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, in this situation, Lawrence is kind of in power because he's the interior designer.
Yeah.
Like, you're there to do your job to fulfill
Yeah.
the designer's needs. But it's all right to attack a feminine presenting person.
Yeah.
This show has taken us to some...
Yeah, we did. I did not expect it. I did not expect it.
That is disgusting. Which she's got a dig, Dyson. What was that? What?
Look at. Did you see?
What,
the
what,
piano?
we have to
You
go
should
back.
go back and look at what they've done to the piano.
It's not there for now.
The state of that.
Do you remember back in like again? It's nice. Those like it was like a skirting board. new like wallpaper they would always put around. There was always like a skirting board wallpaper.
What,
and it was,
around
like,
across the middle of the room?
Yeah, it was
yeah,
like,
a divider.
And it was like all the time, all these houses would always have these like weird like strips of like, awful.
It was very like, oh, the rich people have this in their house,
Yeah.
so we must have it, but it's just wallpaper, whereas theirs is actually like carved in wood.
Yeah.
And bone and scrimshaw.
Yeah. Bone.
Has she found an actual turtle shell?
She's
Is
found
it the turtle?
a dead body.
Put it over there for the moment, that's great.
I remember this music so much,
Yeah.
the like build up. Disgusting.
Oh, peel it off, girls.
One single over there.
This is going this way.
What a disgusting.
Have they just brought...
Perfect.
What is that?
That is too big for that. That
And the
plant.
same the other side.
Why would they bring an apple? The state of that.
Why would you put... Oh, the naughties.
It was a mess. The
I
naughties
love
and
naughties things, but this is... What? But this is too far.
So what do you think?
Brilliant. Just... Your feet off that.
So, what will Glyn and Caroline make of their minimal millennium
Oh,
experience?
it's disgusting. Why is everything covered in curtains?
And why are there all these like leaves everywhere? Like what? This is why have they just like dismantled a plant to put a leaf and
Where's
everything?
the television?
They've burnt it.
Fuck the planet.
The water feature spelled out over it. And destroyed the TV.
Actually, the TV is the water feature.
Yeah.
You have to imagine it in the like
Yes.
a crystal forest woman being like, "Oh, I hate it in the water."
I just hate this. They've taken like what's all these stupid plant pots with just like one leaf in it? Don't they look absolutely stupid?
It's ridiculous.
Looks
But
so-
this is very millennium futurism, though. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like back in the 2000s, you say futuristic to people, and they're like,
Silver and a leaf. Yeah.
And what will Joe and Steve think of their Aussie Outback theme?
"Oh, it's disgusting."
Why is this
Oh, this
sofa
room
so
has grim
close
winds
to
slap-
there was
Disgusting.
It was literally like there was zero space between the sofa and the like.
And what will
Just
Joe
look how
and
close
Steve
together
think
it
of
is.
their Aussie Outback theme?
Look how close it is. Like it's basically on the table. Squeeze
It's meant to be
in.
like a coffee table, isn't it? And why are they staring at that cupboard over Ayers Rock or whatever they say?
It's gonna feel like you're just there.
You're just there. You're looking over the vista. This is
Again, what is with these oversized plants? Like that is not.
You've taken a already kind of like a modest sized room and made it look even smaller.
Weird. They moan about how dark it looks. This room still looks very dark.
But it's like they've put a lamp off to the side here
Yeah,
for a
like-
different wall to be like,
yeah.
look at the illumination.
It's so bright.
Blackpool illuminations in here.
I just can't go over how massive those plants are. Like,
Why is that table so big in front of that sofa?
Wait, and
like, are they sitting
and
on the
what's
sofa?
this weird rug thing on like over a table?
It's a curtain over a Madame
Buffon.
The Davenport.
And they left the floor like it looked, with just these stencils
But they
over
didn't put
it.
turtles on the floor. Awful. It was their living
Well,
room,
this
but
room
kind
has
of a bit
grim
of
winds
everything.
slapped all over it, doesn't it? It's light.
Why
it's
would you
airy,
leave it on the
it's bright,
table?
it's minimalist.
Well, I love
So
it.
are you.
I love it.
Of
I
course
could
you
live
love it. I
here,
bet your
but-
whole house is like this.
Well, I'm just terribly worried that I found out a lot of things yesterday, that this is a room for someone that collects Victorian pub mirrors and clutter, for heaven's sake. I mean,
Victorian pub mirrors.
Oh, whoops.
It is a bit of a whoops, but I mean, you know, I had no choice. By that point, we had just had to...
Does anyone like the changing room? Because I was so surprised if they like, we love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favourite thing. Disgusting.
Open your eyes and see what you think. Can we?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
It's
I know.
the garden programme. There's a water feature.
There's a water feature. And no Charlie Dimmock, just a water feature.
They hate it.
Speechless. You are
They
both
hate
speechless.
it.
Right.
Where can we start? The walls.
What?
White and boring. Very boring. Look behind you, Mum. There's sandpaper on the wall.
It's very sort of smooth and kind
Serene.
of cool, but it's
minimalist and serene.
It is.
Minimalist and serene.
You're not
You can hear
minimalist
the
people.
sound
You're
of
not.
that water feature. That is the
So
loud.
loud.
Right.
The sofas.
I
You
hate the
I
sofas.
know you hate the sofas. The radiator covers?
I like the way the radiators are hidden. That's good. 'cause
Well, I like the fact
didn't-
they're hidden, but I
didn't
don't
them.
like those white things.
No?
She literally
It's
I don't
really
like
Hate
walls.
everything.
Yeah,
That's what you think.
it is a bit cold.
Clinical.
The minute you put something down, it's going to.
What is that?
What is-
A lamp in a bucket.
It's silly.
And the
It just
water
doesn't-
feature? No. That's going to drive me mad.
It's so loud.
It's so loud.
I'm going to sit needing the loo every night. I'm going to sit crossing my legs. Do you know what this reminds me of? What, an operating theatre.
In your operating theatre, who are you going to carve
Eating
up
leaves.
Oh, what are the other people going to say?
Now, aside from the fact that they had kangaroo and...
They just moved straight on, like, yeah, well, we'll leave you with that, yeah.
Well, it's not changing back into them to deal with it!
It was what possessed Caroline and Glyn, I think.
Oh,
Possessed.
buck passing already.
Possession.
I think it's a great
I want
idea.
your gum.
Now
I want your
we'll
gum.
wait to see
Why is there so many
how well it goes
apples?
down. But
They got
apple fetish.
Australia would
Apple
never be
fetish.
something that I would think of automatically, but I like the piano, I like the cushions, and I like the frieze.
I must admit, the pictures are quite good, actually.
Yeah,
They did
and
look
No,
a bit
they're
iffy in
not.
the garden, but they look quite good now they're framed up and in the room.
They don't just got a chalkboard on.
No, I'm not into this.
3, 2, 1, open your eyes.
Oh.
Oh my god.
It's Kylie Minogue on speed. Oh my god.
It's Kylie Minogue on speed.
Kylie Minogue on speed?
Barry Humphries is.
Why is that
Sanatorium.
chair so close to the...
Oh no.
Oh no, Brian!
Brian, it's themed.
It's the...
No, no.
You don't know your friends, and your friends do not know you.
You don't know each other.
It's a theme park.
But you've got a coffee table now that flips open and you put kids' junk in there.
There's a coffee table.
It's
Coffee.
junk.
I thought it was a coffee.
Lawrence in there.
Yeah,
He will
dead.
be like
It's not
it
big
on
enough. It's not big enough for him. He's already had a ducking
Oh
today.
no! Oh, I hate that.
Oh, they found that in outside.
Why would you put that in front of the window?
Yeah.
The room is dark. Just cover the window.
Oh, it's so dark in here. Do you know what we need to do? Put a screen against the window to make it
It's
darker.
so stupid.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it? I'm so with both of these couples, like whoever they are. I'm so with both of them because what they've done is disgusting.
Yeah.
No way.
And the fact they've
See,
seen
that's
as
teaching you
professionals.
more stuff in your shed because it all makes a
Well, it's
reappearance.
easy to take out. Don't worry about that.
the bookcase.
I like those.
Cases,
They're
yeah, it's
nice.
got covers on them.
And do
With
you know what I
the,
really
well-
hate? Do you know what I really, really, really hate and want to cry about?
What?
You've left me wood chip. I only did this so you get rid of the wood chip. And it's still there.
Well,
It's still there.
See?
in fairness,
Cheap.
Yeah.
the
And
wood
the
chip that you had
curtain
taken
pole,
off.
which we really hated, is still there. What has he done? All he's done is remove the carpet. And that is the same colour that comes out of newborn babies' nappies, that is. It is.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm gutted. Gutted.
She's gone into one.
It's hideous. It is hideous.
It's
everything that I
she's right.
We
She's
knew
right.
it. We knew it. We knew it.
I
knew it. I had suspicion.
Warehouse, and I've got Dame Edna Everish's worst nightmare.
She, to be fair, she did. Did she
Well, I'm
probably
going to emigrate
switch?
to
Yeah.
Australia.
I'm straight to casualty.
How did they have this show? Because they're so awful at what they're doing. I don't get it. Why are people going on the show?
Well, if somebody had told me that she collected pub mirrors earlier, I might have stood a chance.
That's my last theme.
Is it a
Until
whole
next
thing like a tongue-in-cheek show?
Is it meant to? Is it meant to make people hate it? Like,
Bye-bye.
I got girl, she's fucking dead. What the absolute fuck was that?
Let's move
Start to finish.
back,
Right,
shall we?
I've got some thoughts, girl.
You've crushed my hand.
Right, take your hanger out.
Oh yes.
Put the laptop away, and let's bloody digest what the we've seen today. So, first of all, I cannot believe the casual misogyny and homophobia. So much of it, just because you're feminine presenting somehow means that you are not deserving of respect, basic respect. You're going to get me dumped in pools. You're going to be like, oh, blah, anything she says nonsense. But also, the one thing that I can take away from this show is that these friends did not know each other.
They clearly didn't know each other. You. The thing is, I understand, like, there are probably things about me that you even don't know. We've been friends now for years, and vice versa. But, like, there are some fundamental things that you should know about your friends.
Absolutely.
And, like, knowing, like, that they would hate you to do a white, like, do you...
Victorian pub mirror collector. No, what we need is to put you in the operating theatre. What about a nice water feature?
You would know that they wouldn't like that. I don't get it. And, like, yes, I get that, like, the presenters are more, like, sort of planning what they want. But you could easily say... She is going to hate this.
Yeah.
Change your idea.
So they have their rooms made over, but they don't change them back afterwards. You're left with that.
And you have to deal with it. If you want to change it, like, you have to deal with it yourself.
Absolutely. Well, my loves, let me know about what you think about what we've seen in today's episode of Changing Rooms. Let us know if you would like us to do another one, because this was so different to what I expected it was going to be.
Yeah.
So problematic, so of its time, and just awful.
That's the thing. I thought we would watch it. It would be like this like stupid quirky show. Like, oh, look at these funny designers going, yeah. But like, there was so much other stuff in it. That's like
the fact that they were just like constantly bickering and arguing.
And even the contestant was like slagging off the other designer. And it's like,
Literally.
but why have you gone onto a show if you don't like the designer?
It doesn't make any sense to me. No sense at all. Well, my loves, with that, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourselves scrolling past on the screen right here. Yes, you can. Oh. If you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next video's Twitch shout-out, make sure you follow me on Twitch. It is Luxeria Plays, and I stream 2 nights a week, Monday and Thursday, my loves. My name's Roly, and I suckle on eggs. Oh, show me your eggs, boys. Boys, eggs!
Yes, my name's Luxeria, and I get f***ed in the bathroom by donkeys.
Oh, my God. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons. Gloria, Stephanie Neotupski, Laura Elise, Steffutech, Orkos Emoji, Abigail Ash, Beebles32, Caitlin Coating, Shell Herman, Christina Kyle, ContraPoints, Crafty Leaks, Danielle, Dr. A, Jevod, Elizabeth Stone, Igogo Yubari, Jarrah Pavlovsky, Jen Martin, Jenny Hendricks, Caitlin Wright, Min TM, Moisten98, Mariah Sherman, Nixie Tricks, Paolo Rivera, Pink Caramel, Princess Lillian, Rachel VEC Biscuit, Romano, Ryan Vita, Sasha Smith, Sexy Texy RN, Slampire Queen, Succubus Lena, Sushi9393, Traverful, Tromo, Victoria Corella, Victoria Waldock, and Zaya Naza. And with that, my lovelies, I want to leave it on the note of make sure you bloody know your friends.
Yeah.
And don't be doing stencils on your wall unless you're like decorating a child's room. And with that, my loves, I'll see you in the next video.
Bye.